this is MeiYu. Today I'm going to be doing something new and different. I haven't done anything like this yet, where I'm going to reimagine and draw the Mona Lisa, a famous art masterpiece, into another art style, Tim Burton's. How's this going to work? So when I was starting this piece, I knew I had to get the overall look of the Mona Lisa. Like, I had to really simplify a lot of the details, but I also needed to keep the very iconic parts of her and make sure they do show through, but in the form of, a Tim Burton character. Because, Tim Burton characters, they usually tend to have like these large giant eyes, and their facial features are kind of stylized, and their face shapes they can be quite unusual, which is why I love them so much. So yeah, the big challenge is, how am I going to translate the features of the Mona Lisa into the stylized Tim Burton art style? So it's kind of similar to some of the other videos I've done on my channel, where I turn let's say a famous character and I reimagine him or her in 10 different animated or art styles. Like my previous video, similar thing, but in a way it was a little bit different and more challenging, because this is not like a character. This is like a really famous art piece that's known worldwide, and it is just a different feeling. Because not only do I have to think about the actual design, like the physical look of the Mona Lisa in the Tim Burton style, I also had to take into consideration her pose. That pose is really famous. How would the arms work, the hands? Because Tim Burton characters, they tend to have really slim limbs and long fingers. So I needed to get that pose kind of translated into that style. And then the background, I had to think of a creative way to kind of translate or turn the background into something that's more fitting in a Tim Burton world. And also the colors and a little bit of the lighting on the face as well. So, all of these different things I had to take into consideration when I was doing the sketch part and then the inking right now. So there's a lot of different elements that I had to balance in this piece, and that's what made it really challenging, but also really fun. Okay, the hair. It was a lot of fun doing all the fine little strands in the hair. Now, I wanted to make the hair look a little bit frazzled because, usually Tim Burton characters' hairstyles, they tend to be a little bit on the wild side. But I still wanted to follow the major shape of the hairstyle of the Mona Lisa, like the original, so I kind of had to balance those two, and it was a lot of fun. Oh, the eyes were something else. So, it was kind of challenging for me to kind of draw the Mona Lisa's, her facial features, her expression, kind of simplify all of that into the Tim Burton style, because Tim Burton characters, they can be quite expressive, but also they're just the features, the amount of details in their faces obviously are not as much as a realistic person's. And because the Mona Lisa is, painted in a very naturalistic way, how was I supposed to summarize all of that? So I was playing around with her expression, like the eyebrows, the lips, especially the mouth area in my concept sketch before drawing this. Okay, now time for the hands. So, the Mona Lisa pose and how she's resting her hands calmly on top of each other. That pose is really iconic, and I wanted to have something like that in my piece, but I also know that Tim Burton characters, their hands, their arms, they tend to be really long and slender, and especially their fingers are quite long, compared to a regular proportioned hand, which is what the Mona Lisa has. So I was thinking, I want to keep a little bit of both. I want the pose to be there, but I also want to have the hands look like they could belong on a Tim Burton character. So how was I going to balance all of that? So I had to really play around with the proportions, and I didn't want her super long fingers to be jutting outside too much. I wanted the hand pose to be similar. That was tricky. and I was playing around with different proportions, and I ended up with this. I think it's a great balance between the original and what I think a Tim Burton character could have. And in case you're new to my channel, or if you want to rewatch these videos, I've drawn various different characters in the Tim Burton style, and I hope you enjoy. You can kind of compare how I treated each character in that style, and you can see how I played with the different features. I think it's always kind of fun to have that comparison. Alright, now the background. So there's a difference between this art challenge and the previous 10 art style challenges I've done before, because in those art challenges I was just concentrating on the character design. But here I'm thinking about everything, so I'm thinking about the background as well. And I was looking at the details in the background of the original Mona Lisa painting. I was thinking, there has to be a way where I can take these, the background, and kind of make it look like it could belong in the world of Tim Burton, and that it'll look natural with the Mona Lisa Tim Burton design that I was doing. Obviously, I'm not going to draw, a similar looking background like the original in the Mona Lisa painting. So I was thinking, well, if this whole piece was done in the Tim Burton style, I think it'll be kind of fun if I turn, the trees in the background. What if they were, just bare branches, trees without any leaves? I think that's a very Tim Burton-y feel, and so I just went ahead and I drew a lot of these empty trees. It's kind of haunting in a way, which I kind of liked because it added to that feel, and overall I thought it was a nice version of, or a nice reimagining of this artwork. Once I was happy with the drawing and the inking, it was time to add the colors. And now the colors is another layer of, things that I really had to keep in mind and pay attention to really make this piece look like the result I had in my head. And, the colors is very, very important because the Mona Lisa painting, everyone knows the colors. It's, beautiful, rich, colors like that. And then I wanted to kind of use similar colors, but not exactly the same, because it's in the Tim Burton world, and Tim Burton characters and, the environments, they tend to have really dull or the muted colors, maybe grayed out colors. So I wanted to get that really interesting, slightly haunting feeling that I had in my head. I was thinking it would be pretty cool if the whole feeling of this piece kind of shifted. Because the Mona Lisa's in the Tim Burton style, I thought it would be cool to have things feel a little bit more haunting. It's still beautiful, but it has a slight eeriness to it. I liked how you used grays for the shading on her face and the skin. And now normally in my original art and my other different challenges and art videos, I tend not to use grays a lot, and especially not for shading characters' skin or just their bodies in general. I usually don't use a lot of grays at all, actually, but in this case, because of the Tim Burton environment, I really really wanted to play up the grays. I think just by adding that really, dull gray color onto the pale skin of the character, I just felt it's such a unique feeling, and it really does remind me of the Tim Burton universe. I know many of you who are watching are also into drawing and creating your own OCs, or designing anime, manga, fashion, and practicing your creative skills. I've just released the paperback versions of my ebooks I made last year called Draw One Girl in 20 Outfits Summer and Draw One Boy in 20 Outfits Summer. I made paperback versions of these because some of you told me you like to learn how to draw using actual books as your personal guide. I hope you find them helpful to learn to draw all kinds of cute, cool, and amazing summery outfits and dresses for your own characters step by step. You can also get my new corresponding workbooks where you draw and color your outfits right on the ready-made body templates, so you don't have to worry about drawing bodies or proportions first. You can just design your own summer outfits right on the body bases, which are the same body designs from my How to Draw books. I'm also glad that many of you are enjoying my other book called Draw Quick and Easy Anime Manga Eyes. The ebook version was the #1 new release this past weekend in its category on Amazon. You can read the ebook for free if you have Kindle Unlimited. You can also get the ebook or paperback to own for yourself or as a gift to help an aspiring artist. They're all on my Meiyu bookstore on Amazon. The link's in the video description. The more you draw, the better you draw. Keep up the good work. Also, all 3 sizes and formats of my new coloring book, Sea of Serenity, are now available on my Meiyu bookstore. Hope you enjoy my newest coloring adventure. Because I really love the atmosphere in the background in the original Mona Lisa painting, like with the sky and all the different layers, you can really feel the atmosphere and the environment. In the background, I wanted to have a similar feeling for my piece, and so that's why I was adding a lot of layers, like layer upon layer upon layer of my markers, to get that depth and the texture in the background. It was actually a lot of work because of all the layering I had to do with my hand. It was, it was a little tiring at the end for my hand, but I thought it was completely worth it because now I had this beautiful atmospheric feeling in this piece. And I just felt like overall, the whole look of the artwork was really pulling me in. And I just loved that whole background and the color scheme and everything. It was so nice. Alright, what do you think of the Mona Lisa in the Tim Burton style? And also, what do you think of this series? Do you like it? Do you want a part 2? Let me know in the comments what other masterpieces and art styles you'd like to see. And also, smash the like button, subscribe with the bell notifications turned on so you won't miss out on future videos that I'ma make for you. Okay, now let's have a little comparison between the original Mona Lisa and my Tim Burton one. Let me know what you think in the comments. There are now over 70 books on the Meiyu bookstore on Amazon, all in one convenient place. The link is in the video description. See you next week. I've got another Fun Friday video. Till next time.